So the Superilles started 5 years ago, and it was a radical change for everyone, I think, who lived here. For a lot of people, we found that it was just like we won the lottery suddenly, because it was such an incredible gift, no? To see the change of this area. It was a very ghostly area in a way, without life in the street. And suddenly there was place for us to be, no?
People not only goes passing through, going from one point to another one, but they stay. It's a more conscious way of enjoying the space, because they take a stroll around the Superilla. It's not that they just cross the Superilla. It's a way of facilitating interactions that usually would not happen. You also have kids, and their laughs replace the sound of the cars.
I think we're not aware of how much space car takes from us, and suddenly when cars are not there, you realize that you can do a lot of things.
In Barcelona City Council, we believe that we must work to change our environment in the cities, to get a more livable, more healthy, more resilient urbanism, because we need to keep our citizens healthy. And of course we know that there are many inconveniences coming from the mobility system that we had the last century. So we need less pollution, less noise, less accidents, of course. We need more space dedicated to green and to water. Of course, we need more resilient in climate change terms.
We have started to do research on the effects of the air pollution, mainly the particles that came from diesel cars, but also petrol cars, on the brain of children. And we actually found that children that went to schools with higher levels of pollution in the classroom and in the courtyard of these schools had a slower development, growth of their brain functions. So we were measuring actually air pollutants that came from the traffic. So we were sure that these exposures were released from the traffic, and mainly from diesel cars. Intervening, do policies, how to manage and control the traffic is quite important for the health of the children. So how the cities are urbanized and people move in the cities is quite important for the health of the new generations and for the development of their brains.
Yeah, to solve all these problems that come from the mobility system, we are working with the project Superilles Barcelona, Superblocks Barcelona, and we are working in the transformation of the city in the way of the street that you see just behind me. We are putting more green, we need more the rainwater to keep it for our trees, and then of course giving much more space for the pedestrians, for the cyclists, and just for the life, just for sharing time, no? For the people, for the neighbors to enjoy the public space.
This new square, which can be called kind of a square from a little village, which is this neighborhood. This new square has given us the opportunity to have the interactions that usually big cities do not have, but now we have them because of the creation of new open spaces.
We've celebrated a lot of cultural activities as well. There's been like cinema in the open air, there's been concerts, theatre, magic events for kids, and there have been a lot of things, you know. We're from the Colectivo Superilla, we're from an association which also works into like trying to create more activity in the street with neighbors. So another one of the huge advantages is that we got to know each other from different buildings. Like perhaps I knew my next door neighbor, but I didn't know anyone else around. Now I know people from buildings over there, because we meet and we do things together. So that's just great. Another thing is that we have a community garden also now, which is in the middle of some super blocks there. of the Superblock, and that's also helping to have another place to meet and to have a common activity.
The fact that it was inaugurated in 2018 and 2019 has made that during this period no many interventions have been done, and so the Associació de Veïns of Sant Antoni and some neighbors have asked several times the districtal administration to convene again the driving group of the Superilles of Sant Antoni in order to analyze the weaknesses and threats of the current design. The theoretical scheme of Superilles, meaning 9 blocks and traffic going through the perimeter of the 9 blocks not entering in the Superilla, this theoretical scheme is not accomplished here because actually in the Superilla of Sant Antoni we have this street, Borrell, and then which is pacified, and then 2 perpendicular streets, Tamarit, where we are now, and Parliament. Many neighbors call this not Superilla, which is the Catalan word for superblock, not Superilla but Supercruïlla, which is kind of super intersection or super crossroads because of this design.
So traffic is impairing health due to the quality of the air, due to noise, to the occupants occupy the space that is not used for greenness or is not used for social interactivity, for social connectivity. So traffic and urbanization is one of the main determinants today on health and well-being.
Yeah, we really believe that's the way the city must change. So Barcelona is now implementing many kilometers of new streets in this way. It's difficult because it's always hard to take space from the cars, to give it back to people, but we know this is the way to follow and we go for it.
There's a lot still to be done, but the bottle is more than half full.